Is anyone crying for help? God is listening, ready to rescue you. If your heart is broken, you'll find God right there. If you're kicked in the gut, He'll help you catch your breath. Disciples so often get into trouble. Still, God is there every time. He's your bodyguard, shielding every bone. Not even a finger gets broken. You have to love the Message translation. What pure, simplistic language it conveys. These verses in Psalm 34 tell us plainly that God has our back. He stands ready to help us in our time of need. In 2 Kings 4, verses 38 to 41, there's a story about a young prophet who had good intentions. There was a famine in the land, and Elisha told him to make some stew for the group of prophets that were with them. The young prophet went out into the field and gathered herbs. He shredded them and put them into the stew, not realizing they were poisonous. The men ate just a few bites, and they realized eating the stew would bring about death. Directed by the Lord, Elisha asked for some flour, and he threw it into the pot of stew. Afterwards, he proclaimed that the stew was all right, and they could go ahead and eat it. The scripture records that not one of them got sick from it. Can you imagine the emotions of the young prophet when he realized his error? Of course, during a famine, food is scarce, so throwing away food was unthinkable. No doubt his heart was broken. He was simply trying to prepare a good meal, and he inadvertently caused the stew to be inedible. God knew the dilemma and directed Elisha with the remedy. Aren't you glad the Lord doesn't make a distinction between trouble we bring upon ourselves and trouble we unintentionally find ourselves? God just sees that we're in trouble and He wants to help. He says, "Call upon me in the day of trouble, and I will deliver you, and you shall glorify me. Call unto me, and I will answer you, and show you great and mighty things which you do not know." Let's look again at the remedy God told Elisha would cure the stew: flour to absorb poison. Now, for a moment, put on your cooking hat. When you put flour into liquid, it dissolves. You cannot remove all of the flour from the liquid, even if you strain it. So in the natural realm, poison should have remained in the stew. What these men needed in a time of famine was a miracle, and God gave it to them. Have you ever found yourself in trouble because of something you did wrong? If you allow Satan to convince you that because you brought trouble upon yourself, God won't help you, you will miss your deliverance. Even when an answer seems insurmountable, remember, nothing is too difficult for God. Just like God had a plan to remove the poison from the stew, God has a plan for you.